Hey everybody, it's Chase with American Vintage Adventures again, and today I'm coming to you to do a little bit different type of video because of the huge announcement about the return of annual pass sales at Walt Disney World. Now everybody's excited about this. They go on sale on April 20th, so be prepared for the site to crash. Be prepared for a long wait. Be prepared for the spinning wheel of death, or something ate that page to show up if you go on trying to purchase them. But they are back, and the big question that you have to ask yourself, that a lot of people ask themselves once they get over the initial excitement of being able to purchase them again, is, are annual passes worth it? That's what I'm going to talk a little bit about, and it's really kind of a it depends answer. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit more here in a minute. But right now, if you don't know, if you haven't been following my videos, I'm out of state. I live in Georgia, so I only have one option of pass available to me, and that is the Incredi Pass, which is $1,399 plus tax, and that does not include the water parks. If you live out of state, that is the only option you have, unless you are a DVC member. And then DVC members do have one other option. It is the Sorcerer Pass, and it's $969. So that is available to Florida residents and DVC members who live out of state. Otherwise, if you live out of state, you're looking at a minimum of $1,400 plus tax. Now, what does that get you? Is it worth it? You say, oh my gosh, I could get a one-day ticket for $100 or $104 or $109, and that's something that we need to talk about. If you can hear me over my squeaking chair. First, let's go over the other two tiers of pass. There are two lower tiers of pass as well. They're only available for Florida residents, and those are the Pixie Pass, which is just basically a weekday only pass. You can't go on the weekends, and it has a lot of blackout dates, but it's only $399. So if you're very local and you just like to drop in mostly through the week, and you can do that, then that one is a no-brainer, because that's going to pay for itself very, very quickly. But like I said, it does have a lot of blackout dates. Like there's a whole chunk of April you can't go. There's a lot of blackout dates, so you would have to be on your toes about that. There's also the Pirate Pass, which is in there, which has a little bit less blackout dates and things like that. But today, we're going to concentrate on the Incredi Pass, because a lot of people who are looking to buy these passes are out of state. Obviously, a lot of Florida people or Florida residents already have passes, or it's just not that big of a deal, or they have a lot of options. When you live out of state, you don't have a lot of options, so you really have to crunch the numbers and decide, is the annual pass worth it for you? Are you going to get the usage out of the annual pass? And that could be a hard question. Let me try to make sure that you guys can see me there. Hey there. I've seen a lot of information and misinformation online about the annual pass, which mine I just got renewed about a month or so ago. They already look different than this now. They don't have the 50th anymore. They have the new Mickey logo. It looks more like this over here. It looks more like this. Got this guy on it. And you can see all of my annual pass magnets there. But I just got mine renewed before they changed it, so I'll be keeping this one for a little bit. But with the Incredipass, $1,400 is a lot to shell out at one time. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, the cheapest ticket that you can get, it's like $109 a day. And so that would take you 16, 15 trips to the park through the turnstiles to make up your money. That's not true. That is very not true. First of all, when they're looking at those prices, that is for a 1 day or a 1 park a day ticket. And that is if you buy a 10-day ticket. That's the only way you can really get it that cheap. So that's not an apples to apples comparison. To make it fair, what you have to do is compare the annual pass against park hopper tickets. And because the annual pass includes park hopper availability, so that right there is worth a lot more. It's like $65 or $85 a day to add park hopper. So then you have to say, okay, well, am I really going to go for 10 days at a time? That I'm a travel agent. I go to Disney all the time. The average length of stay at Disney is 4 to 7 days. And really the sweet spot on the average is five nights. So 10 days is not really a practical comparison. So when I chose, now I do this vlog now, so it's a little bit different, but when I chose to do an annual pass, I broke down the numbers big time. And what it comes down to is the average ticket right now with Park Hopper is about $213 a day, but let's just say it's $200 a day. For instance, we just went for 1 day a couple of weeks ago, and my parents, who don't have annual passes yet, had to buy a 1 day Park Hopper ticket because we were there for the return of Happily Ever After. And with tax, for 1 day, for 2 people, it was $494. So $500 for 1 day. So you start doing that math and you could see real quick how this could change. So if we say that the average ticket is a 5-day ticket and it's $200 a day, and you have to add the park hopper because this gives you the park hopping ability, you really pay for this on about your 7th trip into the park. So like the 7th day you go to the park, you're going to be over $1,400 in value. So it would be paid for. So the way I looked at it is, even before I started this YouTube channel, I knew that I like to go to Disney World at least twice a year back then. Now I go every few weeks, but back then we like to go twice a year. So we drove down from Georgia. We went for 4 or 5 days. Well, that's 10 days usually that I spent at the park. So I was immediately saving $600 if I was going to go. So if you're going to go for more than 1 5-day trip per year, you're going to save money by buying this. You just are. Unless you're one of those people who just wants to go for one time, 10 days, 1 park each day, be stuck in it, no matter how crowded it is, no matter what's going on, you get rained out, oh well, tough noogies. The park hopper gives you so much more flexibility, and that is available in the pass holder or in the annual pass. So unless you're one of those people, or you're only going to go one time for 4 days and you just want a 1 day park hopper, or a no park hopper, you just want a 1 day per park ticket, you're going to hit each of the 4 parks and throw caution to the wind, and I'll be damned. It doesn't matter if you get rained out or don't get to go on your favorite ride or whatever. That's it. If that's you in those 4 days, that's all you're going once a year, one time, then no, the pass is not for you. But if you're going to go for 5 or more days, and you're going to go more than one time, the pass is worth it, because we haven't even gotten into everything that goes along with the pass. So with the pass, you're going to get 10 to 20% discounts on food. You're going to get 20, sometimes 30% discounts on merchandise. You're going to get free parking at the parks if you're not staying there. If you're staying there, it's free to now. It's free to park at the resorts. But you're also going to have really, really discounted room rates sometimes. Like there's going to be a time over the summer where it's up to 30% off the room rate if you have the annual pass. Now, that's a lot of money. I mean, it changes things like the Contemporary, instead of being $800 a night, it's like $504 a night. I mean, it saves you money. That's just one example. There's other examples like little things like Pop Century. Instead of being $238 a night for a preferred room, you could get it for like $177. So a night. So you figure if you're there for 5 nights, you've just saved $350 or so, $400. So you have to factor those things in, because that is pretty significant discount. Now, if you're just a one-off, one time per year, 5 days or less, and you don't care about park hopping and you don't care about the discounts, you're going to eat. There's always exceptions. But on average, if you are going to go through those turnstiles more than 5, maybe 6 times, even before you count the discounts, the annual pass is worth it. Now, I'm not always the most happy with Disney, how they've already announced that that the supplies are limited. And coming from someone who's studied a lot of finance and business and stuff like that in my master's degree, what that is just like anytime anyone says limited time offer or this is a limited edition. For the most part, what Disney is doing with that, and they do it with a lot of things, is creating false scarcity of supply. And that allows them to drive up the demand and drive up the prices, because there is no scarcity of supply for pass holders to sell these. Don't care how busy it is. Right now, Disney's putting on a lot of discounts because they're actually their attendance is going back down. We're starting to level back off. And for years and years and years, just decades, you had no problem with attendance or pass holder limitations. It wasn't needed. And what happens is when you create a false scarcity of supply, then people all rush to get something, and that actually leads to the parks being more crowded too, because people are afraid if they don't book and they don't get in, then they won't get in. Versus if it was like it used to be, you could just go anytime you want. It was available anytime you wanted. There was no rush. There was no increased demand because it was always available. If something's always available, people aren't rushing to get it the same. So we're creating a little bit of our own problem here, or Disney's creating their own problem that they're profiting from, which, might not be the nicest business practice, but business is business. You just have to know that. But if you are going to get it, I would get it fast, because they may limit it and it'll go back off. And it really is, in my opinion, worth it to get the annual pass. Trying to think if there's anything else that you could go over, or I could go over, or if you ask me, I'll try to answer in the comments. But that really is my opinion on the annual passes. If you're out of state and you're going to go more than one trip, I think it's completely worth it, because you get a lot of extras with it. You even get discounts on after hours events, everything like that. You get discounts on except for alcohol. You don't get a discount on alcohol, but you have a lot more open to you, and you have a lot more flexibility when you're trying to book a vacation. And yes, it's a big hit at once to get the pass, but when you're trying to book a vacation and you don't have to come up with ticket money. You've just got to get food, travel, and lodging. It's a whole different story. So I've rambled on enough. I think you should get it. Ask me any questions. I'll get back with you in the comments. But for right now, this is Chase with American Vintage Adventures saying have a great AVA day, and I'll see you pass holders real soon. Bye-bye.